You want to take part in the latest hashtag craze, but you're stuck sharing other people's images that just don't get you traction. Here's how you can easily create content that people are going to want to share and bring more traffic to your social media accounts. And you're going to do it using one of the biggest software companies in the world. Hello and welcome once more to the Marketing Toolshed, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Spark. Now this is a great tool if you need to make a social media post. It makes it really easy to reformat images for different social media platforms, and it's backed by Adobe, who have a history of making good products for creative people. So let's start with why you actually need to know how to use this tool. You see, trending hashtags, they're one of the ways that you can get more eyeballs on your social accounts. And at the time of recording, the Dolly Parton challenge is actually a very big thing at the moment. It's all over the place. Celebrities are tweeting it out. There's a lot of people who are looking specifically at that hashtag. It's the perfect opportunity for you to make a niche specific post. And most people will just repost something that somebody else has done. But a bit of creativity means that you could have your own post shared with people who want to take part in the craze but actually haven't produced anything themselves. The best part is it takes very little work using Adobe Spark. So let's just talk for a second about the Dolly Parton challenge and what we're going to create today. What we're going to do is we're going to take 4 photos that represent the niche that you're in, and each one of those photos is going to represent either LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram or Tinder, just like the image you can see here. And what I'm going to do today is run down how I'm going to create an image like that for the wildlife photography niche, all using Adobe Spark, all incredibly simply. Let's get started. Here we are in Adobe Spark, and when you first log in, this is what you're going to see. You can create a new product from up here. It's very simple to do. Now I should point out, I actually have access to the full version of Adobe Spark, but what I've done is sign up here as a brand new user, and that means that everything that I've got on here is the unpaid for version. I've just signed up for a free account, so you can do anything I do in this video, you're going to be able to do as well. And what we're going to do here is create a collage. Now, a collage is a selection of images, and you can either upload or you can choose from a bunch of free images. So even if you don't have any images of your own, if you wanted to do something like this where you'd have, say, 4 faces, you could search for the word face and it'll bring up a load of faces in there that you could add into your post and do anything you want with. But I'm going to do some uploading because I'm a photographer and I have done some photography, and I am going to have a different section for each thing. So if I find my West Midlands Safari Park photos and my exports from there, those are the ones that I wanted to have a look at. I'm going to choose 4 of those. Each one is going to represent a different social media platform. So to start off with, LinkedIn, you want something that looks very serious. Let's take that one, I think, for LinkedIn. Facebook, you want something that looks kind of fancy, and friends, there we go, that sort of thing with your friends, that's Facebook. Let's have a look at Instagram as well. You want something, best photo I've got there, and finally Tinder, you want, let's go with that one because I think it's quite funny. So those are going to upload. It's as simple as that to get started, and then we're going to click on next. Now for this particular challenge, most people are posting square images. If you're using Instagram, you'd want to have a square image as well. Twitter, maybe not so much, but actually do what the hashtag's doing at the moment. So we're going to choose a square image and click on next. It'll take a second or two to get everything ready. There we go. What you'll notice at the moment is A, nothing's in the right order. We'll sort that out in a second. And B, you've got this rather staggered layout, which isn't what we want. So the first thing we'll do is to change this layout. You go over here to the layout button, and we're just going to click on this 4 up. And the other thing, you see there's a border in between these cells as well. Well, typically these images don't have borders on. So up here, there's a border control. And we're going to take that out completely, which means that we just need to do a little bit of messing around to sort of make all of these fit properly. Easy enough to do. Okay, so we're going to start off. Top left needs to be our LinkedIn image, which is going to be that one. Bottom right needs to be the Tinder one, which is going to be that one. We're going to have the penguins up there for Facebook, and then we're going to have this one here for Instagram. The other thing here, this Spark post link, if we click on that, we can remove once and get started for free. And it'll get rid of that. So you don't have to have an Adobe Spark logo on the final image. The next thing is all about editing text or adding text. And if you're going to create a social media post, the two things you're going to really want to do, adding an image and adding some text in there. So we will add, you see you can add icons, photos, logos. Right now, if you add a photo, it has to be in one of these boxes. So right now we're just going to add some text. We're going to add our text like that, and we're going to say Facebook. No, we're not. We're going to say LinkedIn. Sorry, that's the first one. And then done. And you'll see that this comes up and it's got its own style to it, and it tends to give you a style that it thinks that you're going to like, but you can play around with this and you can as much as you want. We're going to change the font here to this Myriad Hebrew bold. We're going to change the colors, and you've got some colors and things down here, so we'll change the color here, and we can change the color by clicking on that. We want that to be black, and we're going to have that color as white, and we'll save that. The other thing I quite like to do is to alter this shape. Now you can have different shapes around here. You don't have to have a shape at all if you don't want. You can have something like that or that. You can have circles or other shapes as well. Pretty nice. I quite like this. I'm going to choose a rounded box because that looks quite good, and I'm going to actually add a little bit of padding to that so that it doesn't look quite so big, I suppose is the word I'd probably use. We'll go up to the type there again, and we'll drop that down just a touch so that it's not too big. And finally, we can just drag this into position. And one of the things that I love about Adobe Spark is that it will let you line that picture up in the middle. You see that thing that comes up, that little line that comes up? It snaps the element to that, so you can line that up easily. Now, what we'd have to do on this is then copy that across to each other picture, and we can do that quite simply by clicking on this duplicate icon. That's going to make a second one. We're going to shift this into the middle here and then down here, and you'll notice that more lines come up, and we'll let you line this up perfectly with the one next to it. So you don't have to worry too much about how your layout's going to look. It's going to look all right because you can line everything up very simply. Double click on that. You get to choose your next thing, and this is Facebook this time. There we go, and there we're done. And then we're going to duplicate that as well. Nice and simple. Now here is the only real problem, and it's the gap at the bottom here. When you've got these four pictures up, you want to make sure that gap is pretty much the same. So I'm just going to bring this up here for a second, and I'm noticing here that the bottom of this is roughly on the bottom of the other image. So there we go. That's the most difficult alignment thing that you've got to do in the whole process. Double click on Facebook, and then this one's Tinder, like that. And that I've done that wrong because I've been doing that. Can't spell to save my life. And finally, we're going to duplicate that. And of course, once we've done that, you'll notice that these guides start to come up again, so that we can easily line that up. And that one is for Instagram. And there we have it. That's as simple as that. You've produced this image that you can now share under the Dolly Parton challenge hashtag. All you do there is just download that. You can choose whether you want it as a PNG or a JPEG. Doesn't really matter, but JPEG for in theory for smaller things. It'll get the download file, and then it'll ask you where you want to put it. I'll stick it on the desktop. And that's it. It'll come up with a few nag screens and things because it wants you to remove stuff. The other benefit to doing it like this is that if I suddenly wanted to take this and use it instead on Instagram as an Instagram story, then I wouldn't have to do an awful lot of messing about. I don't have to remake this whole image. All I do is I go to resize, and it's going to ask me what I want to resize it into. And coming down here, you'll want this tall option, which is down here, or you can move up and it will give you other sorts of things. You'll see Instagram stories are there already. So I'm going to click on that and make it into an Instagram story. And then all we've really got to do, you click and drag to reposition these images. So that's LinkedIn, Facebook. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make this a bit smaller, like so. And we can do that with all of them. Or, because actually that process doesn't take too long, you could redo the whole lot. Instagram, a bit smaller. Like so. Tinder, a bit smaller. Or if you wanted to, you could take this, instead of doing it like that, you can make this 50, and then click on this next one and make it 50, and click on this next one and make it 50, so that they're all exactly the same size. And then all you have to do there is just to reposition them slightly. Very simple to do, like we've shown before. You do it like that. Once you've got a lot on there, obviously it makes it a little bit more difficult, but fairly simple to do all of this stuff. There we go. We're going to shift this over here. We're going to shift that. That'll do. That's fine. And there I've got an image that I can share as an Instagram story, and of course the first one I can share in my main Instagram feed. I could share that also on Twitter and Facebook, or on Flickr if that's what you use. All really very simple to do. Also with this, which I quite like, you can have the option of adding effects and things onto this. So you've got drop shadows, which you can change. You've got different styles here, which will give you a suggestion every time you change it. So if I move this around, it'll give you a different style there. So you don't have to do an awful lot of thinking to get something which actually looks quite good here. You can also go into your layout, as we saw before. You can go into your design, and you can choose from various different designs that you've got in there as well. So if you're stuck for ideas and you want to build something up with somebody else's ideas, you've actually got a fair amount of images here that have already been created that you just have to click on and you can make it your own. And there we have it. I love Adobe Spark, and what's even better is that it comes with an app as well, so that you can make these on your phone from the comfort of your armchair, or when you're out and about and on the go. And having that original content, it really does bring eyes to your social media accounts. It can, over time, it will help you get more followers, and doing it this way is so quick as well. So grab a copy, have a play. I think you're going to really love it. And if you found this useful, please do consider subscribing to the channel and hit that little bell icon at the end as well. And that means that you're going to get a notification every time I put up a new video. One final thing before I go. If you want to make your own videos, I've put together a quick course that shows you 4 of the best video editors that you can use, and you know what? 3 of them are absolutely free, and it also gives you some simple editing techniques that make your videos look super professional just by doing a few tweaks to it. I think you're going to like that as well, so check that out on the link below, and until next time, thanks very much for watching.